Welcome to the DIY Goalie podcast, where hosts and goalie coaches Nathan Park and Connor Monday share their insights on how to become a better goalie. How are we doing today, goalies? Welcome to the 66th episode of the DIY Goalie podcast. As always, thanks for sticking around with us this long, and I'm surprised that you guys aren't sick of hearing us talk yet, because I'm sick of it sometimes. Just kidding. But just before we get started here, if you guys are interested in coming out with us this summer for our 5-day long camp, the August 11th to 15th camp that we have going on, we currently only have 3 spots left, or 4 spots left, and that might change by the time this airs. So if that's something that you guys are around the Edmonton area for, want to join us for a jam-packed week of goalie development, you can head to truenorthgoaltending.com and check that out. We are here for part 2 of our mystery questions that we didn't get around to finishing last week. So we are kind of driving on with that, and we have come up with more questions, so we might down the road have to do a part 3, but we'll take a break from it after part 2 for a little bit anyways. So today I'll let Connor go first, since I went first last time, but I stole him away from his pool, so he's probably a little bitter right now. But how are you doing, Connor?
Didn't get my tan on. That's what I need. No, I'm good. It's been a very busy week for me outside of everything that we do. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Just still trucking along here. We do have one of our 3-day kind of conditioning organizational camps with one of our organizations that we worked with throughout the winter last year. So I'm excited to be running kind of my own camp this year. I'd never really done that before. So this could be an absolute dumpster fire, and Nathan's never going to let me do it again. But I'm hoping that's not the case. But definitely looking forward to seeing all of our goalies out this weekend as of recording this. And if you guys are in the Edmonton area and coming up for a little summer vacation or something, or visiting family, bring the goalie gear and register for one of our spots. We are also listed in the In Goal magazine goalie coaching, goalie school kind of flip book that they have on their website. So if you found us through there, hi, hello, how you doing? Welcome to True North Goaltending, and we're looking forward to having everybody out. It's going to be a fun one. Definitely enjoy that.
Yeah, I passed the torch for this weekend, so I'm going to be popping my anxiety pills and, sitting at home hoping things are going good.
Dude, my anxiety pills are going to be going through the roof because, like, my wife could be any day, man. Any day at this point, she could pop out this child.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll be on standby at home, so I'll have my ringer on.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Well, do you want to kick us off for today?
Yeah, I want to start off with a little bit more of a personal kind of question. And this one, I guess, like, these two kind of go hand in hand here. So, I know kind of my answers to this, but I'm curious about yours. Is who do you think has been the most influential coach, parent, or other goalie throughout your career?
Well, I think bar none, in terms of the technical aspect of my game, would have to be Dustin Schwartz, because I don't know, I really didn't have a whole heck of a lot of consistent coaching before that, and didn't really get explained the why behind things before that. So that kind of definitely started me on the path of that, and kind of is the reason why I started, True North goaltending and kind of doing this stuff, just to try and give other goalies the knowledge that I didn't have when I wish I did.
Right.
Another one too, kind of, we shouted him out a couple episodes ago, but Gavin Armstrong with the Goalie Academy, who I think it's been about a month now since he had passed. Went and saw him a lot. He was kind of a big driving force behind the desire of getting our own facility, going to his facility growing up, and he definitely kind of brought the fun aspect of things. That's a big reason why we do 3 puck at the end of a lot of our sessions, because that was always the thing to look forward to. Going to Gavin's was playing a game of 3 puck at the end of the session. Um, yeah, I mean, it's tough because like I didn't have a whole heck of a lot of like resources available when I played. And I think just in general, kind of, goalies that played 15 plus years ago, even 10 plus years ago, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot out there. You kind of just went to, your one summer goalie camp before tryouts, and that was about it that we got. There was no talk about cognitive training, no talk about sports psychology, no talk about any of that kind of stuff. And there wasn't really a whole lot of the why explanation. Even when you did get training, it was a lot of just yeah, just do this, let's practice t pushes, okay, great. And so yeah, but I think there's definitely been a lot since I've stopped playing a lot more. Like listening to guys like Jamie Phillips, or listening to stuff like the podcast Curtis McElhaney had, or just kind of some of these tidbits you get from a bunch of people in the goalie community. That's Yeah, I don't know. I've probably gotten a lot more influenced by people in the last 4 to 5 years than when I actually played.
Right.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that, I guess. But I don't know.
There
Why
wasn't
don't you
there
share what you got?
I was gonna say like
Oh,
mom and dad like weren't more
well, they
influential,
were
or like
obviously.
or there like wasn't like a goalie partner that.
Well, yeah, so obviously like mom and dad were super supportive and stuff like that growing up. I just like neither of them knew anything about goaltending. I know my mom actually, even recently when we started doing the merch, she bought a My Little Goalie Makes Big Save shirt, and I'm like, "Mom, I don't even play anymore." And she's like, "That's okay. You'll always be my little goalie." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Oh,
I know, right?
cringe were they?
Uh, yeah, so that's moms for you. But yeah, I don't know, like nothing really like stands out, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you just kind of showed up to the rink and played. Like it
Yeah.
was, I don't know. Like there wasn't a whole lot of like goalie specific support, I guess. So I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
That's kind of
Well,
where I'm at.
I share the same answer with you from a coach's standpoint and Dustin Schwartz. Like I had goalie training throughout majority of my career already. I mean, like I went to ATC goaltending with Jamie McKeag and Dave Ratcha, and um, I did um, the goalie school, the once a week goalie school when I was in Bantam with Brent Bradford, who was running it at the time. But like definitely like Dustin Schwartz and Curtis Muka towards the tail end of my high school tenure, brought in structure and, just kind of really got you thinking more about the technical aspect of the game. And then especially once after Dustin had moved on to the Oilers, and um, Curtis came in my grade 12 year, like it just being able to have that opportunity that I didn't think I could have or really wanted to have, or not wanted to have. That's not the right word to use. Like didn't think that I could have with Dustin. I mean, like you and I both know Dustin fairly well. I mean, he's a pretty intimidating guy sometimes, right? So I felt that I felt that for me that Curtis was more approachable, and I was able to. I felt bad. Like I probably took up more of his lunch times than I'd like to admit, and just kind of sitting down and going through video and just kind of talking shop really in that aspect. Um, not to say that Dave and Jamie, they were the first goalie coaches that I really had. I went to each of their summer camps every year, had a lot of fun there, got to do some mentorship with them. And then Brent Bradford, I mean, he and I had a falling out, and which is unfortunate. But he was, when I was working with him, he was really supportive, and wanted to see everybody under his tenure succeed. So what happened beyond that is stuff that I will keep personal, but um, yeah, I mean, definitely had a lot of influential coaches throughout my career, and I said it on one of our local radio shows like months ago, because Dustin was taking a lot of heat here with Oilers fans, and so I went on this radio show as more as a part of a contest, but I guess in the segment prior that they were talking about the Oilers goaltending and goaltending coaching, and I said to the host, it's like, I know a lot. Like, I know there's a lot of talk about Dustin Schwartz, but having nothing but nice things to say about the guy. He's been a huge part of my life, and I'll always accredit my skill as a goalie and the reasoning for me to want to be a goalie coach because of him, and by proxy, Curtis Muka. When it came to the parental side of things, my dad played goal back in Ontario. So we still have the old Cooper pads some down here somewhere with the waffle board and all that. And so he was technically my very, very first goalie coach, but just he was always in my corner, and being able to kind of bounce ideas off of him, and just kind of being able just to talk goaltending in general was always a fun one. And then when it came to goalie partners, I had a lot of great goalie partners growing up, and going to school and being a goalie as well. There, you get to there was a lot of different goalies from a lot of different walks of life and a lot of different levels. So I don't think I could really pick out one in particular when it came to that.
Yeah, I think my answer is more of a testament as to how bad I am at networking slash like getting to know
Sure,
people.
sure.
But one thing I will say though, and kind of been doing a bit of reflecting, I guess, or I don't know if that's the right word, but since like Gavin has passed, it's I don't know, it's kind of like it makes me think that I should have stayed in touch a little bit more, like throughout the years, kind of, because he did have a big influence on like younger Nathan, just like having fun with the position, and kind of that whole dream of like, oh, let's have our own facility and stuff like that. And the one thing that I'll say for you younger goalies is try and keep those touch points as much as you can, because not only do you never know when you might need the support you can get from somebody in the goalie community, but you also never know what doors it might open down the road. Um, it's we all know how small the hockey community is and how much smaller the goalie community is, even. And don't take for granted the relationships you make along the way. I think that's one of the things that I wish I definitely did better, kind of, you know, as I went through the years. So I don't know, just make the connections, reach out to people, stay in touch, even if it's like once every couple months. Hey, how's it going? How's the new position if they're a goalie coach, or how's, the new team if they're a player, or whatever the case is. And that's something that I am going to try and do a better job of, like with our goalies that we work with, and kind of, the other coaches that we work with and stuff like that too. But just a piece of advice for you guys. It kind of goes a long way if you can try and keep those relationships going as much as you can.
Yeah,
And let people know too, like if they are kind of a major influence or whatever, thank them, and kind of give them credit for kind of what they've taught you and where they've brought you and kind of the success they've helped you to achieve. And yeah, that's something that looking back I wish I had done better job of. But you know,
I guess I'll be the double edged sword with that. I mean, like, uh, again, without going into a lot of detail, but that's kind of in like I wouldn't say like that's how I end up having a falling out with Brent and this one of the other goalie coaches schools that I used to work for. Um, there is a like I guess a double edged sword in that aspect, and I know that definitely like Brent and well Brent for sure, and I can't say so much about the other guy, but like again like talked about in the previous pod, like when I was just even talking about wanting to do my own thing, like they kind of saw it as a threat in that aspect. The other guy not so much. It was more so differences of opinion when it came to how to coach the position. But yeah, no, that's definitely something like I don't know, like I feel weird about it because like I don't talk to Mr. Schwartz a whole lot, really ever. I still have Curtis's number saved in my phone, and it's one of those things where it's like I try not to bother him a whole lot because I know that
yeah,
he's, I know that he's busy. I mean, like again, like it's like even then, it's like I don't want to flex on it a whole lot. It's like, hey, I have the Edmonton Oil King goalie coach's phone number and call him up on speed dial. I mean, like even it's the same thing with Marlene Boston. Like when she came on, again, that was coolest thing ever for me. Not that I'm going to go messaging her every day saying like, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah.
Like it's
No,
there's definitely a double edged sword in that. And even then, like when I've had goalie parents reach out to me and students that I have worked with, like I don't know, I feel weird about the entire thing. It's like, oh, okay, like I coached your kid for like 1 year, but all right, cool. Like
yeah, but there's
only
ways to
one
go
session.
about it,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
obviously, and I just think it's always good to kind of have those in your back pocket if you can do it naturally. Like don't force it, obviously, and whatever,
Yeah,
but just the people that you click with in the goalie community, keep that and try and kind of nurture that as much as you can. Reach out every now and then. Doesn't even have to be about hockey, just like, hey, how are the kids, or hey, whatever the case
yeah,
is, right? Just staying in people's good books and kind of maintaining those relationships, I think are good, or is a good thing for where
yeah.
you want to be and just kind of as a person too. But
I do want to
yeah,
put this disclaimer in here quickly. I'm not knocking on Brent Bradford. I mean, yes, he and I had a falling out, but he's doing a lot of good things. He's a teacher now. He's doing a lot of good things. Again, very very thankful for the opportunity that he gave me. Unfortunately, things just between him and I didn't work out, but I wish him nothing but the best.
yeah. All right, so I'll hop into mine here, and I do have a personal one for my next one, but this one's kind
Okay.
of more the hockey side of things. So when it comes to goalies, assuming that there's a little bit of time, would you rather they hold it or would you rather they play it? Now, again, I know it's situational, but if a goalie eats a puck, would you rather them hold it and cover it, get a whistle, or would you rather them play it if they have enough time? Obviously, not if somebody's like right on top of them, but say it's like, 2-on-2, they're coming in the zone, they kind of fire it on net, and they're still at the blue line. Goalie has some time to dish it to the corner or something like that.
This is kind of a continuation from the question that I had asked when we were talking about rebounds. Like
Kind of,
when I
yeah.
asked, like, is there more, like, are you seeing more rebounds, or would you prefer rebounds over chest saves? Um, Me personally, I would rather they hold it. I get really bad anxiety when they go like when they play the puck, and because I don't trust our defensemen worth anything on any team that I've ever coached on. I would rather they hold it, get the whistle, we regroup in our own zone, and then we break out of our own zone. Um, I also can't. I personally can't take the anxiety. I could never take the anxiety in a game, but I can't take the anxiety of like, oh, shot one, shot two, shot three, and it's absolute madness in front of the net. Um, Yeah, I think for me, I'd rather, I mean, situational, obviously, but I think in a general sense, you have more than one or two guys in our zone. I'd rather you hold it, just eat it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I just asked the question because we're definitely seeing an uptick in goalies having the confidence to move the puck a little bit more. Like, I think you see a lot of whistles even where the whistle is blown when the goalie's kind of got his glove out like ready to drop it, right, if he gets the chance to. And then obviously with the 3-on-3 overtimes, you've seen a couple goalies make some clutch plays to spring a guy too. I also think just in general, like, stick handling, puck handling, passing, shooting for goalies is, you know, being practiced more often, and we're kind of seeing it with the uptick in goalie goals that have been scored in the last, 5 plus years. um so it seems like there's a bit of a trend towards keeping the play alive as opposed to eating it. I think eating it is slightly more of a traditional, quote unquote, traditional, like, way of seeing it. I do agree. I like, taking the whistle, but at the same time, I wasn't the best puck player. So,
Yeah,
but
I think it boils down to, again, like we were talking about last pod. This the hockey IQ, the game, like
yeah,
the sense awareness, basically.
time and a
Um,
place.
exactly right. So obviously all situational, but I think just to minimize any mistakes, I think just if you hold it, for me that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. All right. Next.
All right. um, I wanted to ask this last one, and I'll ask this now. Um, is there a particular technique or a style that you like to teach more than others, or is there like one kind of, for lack of a better term, save execution that you don't like teaching, but you still teach it anyways because it's still good for the goalie to, learn it?
One that I don't like teaching, but I still teach. Hmm. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't have anything that I absolutely dread, like you, if I throw you in the stick handling station at sessions. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, the one thing I'll say is the one that I like do preach a lot on. Like, if you talk about a style, would be efficiency. Like, that's, I don't know, everything that I kind of work off of when I coach is based off of how can we do this with the least amount of movement possible to get the job done. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the one that I'm not a huge fan of, but I will work with the goalie if that's what they want to do, is kind of the low saves with the pads as opposed to using the stick, because that's something that's come up a lot recently with, kind of current goalies, is not using the stick and kind of trying to use the pad to place rebounds. Now, I know it's different than when we played. Like, rebounds absolutely fly off of pads now, whereas when we played, they just kind of died on the pads. So in certain situations, I can kind of see the merit of, basically trying to launch a puck out of your zone on a rebound, or just make it come off hot enough that, the other team can't corral it on the back door or something like that. But I do, like, even if I'm working with a goalie that is pretty set on doing that, I'm not a huge fan of it. I still, in the back of my mind, are like, no, get a stick on it. Let's get a stick on it.
Yeah.
So that's one, I guess. I'm trying to think too. I It seems like it's kind of died now. I don't know if it ever really caught on, but one that I was never really a fan of was the panda. Didn't really understand that one, but I think that was kind of a flash in the pan, and nobody seems to have really latched onto that one. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all that comes to mind right now. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's like, ugh, I hate doing this, but I do it anyways. But
Well, yeah, yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Definitely the stick handling for me is not my favorite thing in the world. Um, I guess like for me, and like I share the same sentiment with you. You know, teaching efficiency as a style. Um, I'm not a fan of the elevated stance. Particularly, I'm not even really a fan of like the. I'm going to call them the small adjustments. That's not what I mean. But like the quick kind of shuffles across the the crease, top of the crease. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of. So Nathan's
like, are
giving me a
you
look
talking
of.
about on a pass or like on a walk? Because if they're walking, that's kind of how you have to follow the puck.
If, yeah, yeah. If it's a walk, yeah, that like it makes sense to me. I maybe a pass. I don't know. I don't. I yeah.
That's one I'd need to see an example of to know what you're
Sure, and that's
you're
yeah, and
talking
that's
about.
yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I'm a taller goalie, but and it's not like I'm playing low in my stance when I played, but
Yeah.
was always told stick on the ice. You know, it's milliseconds from being in an elevated stance to being or getting down your butterfly or getting in your stance properly. Um, just never really ones that I guess I understood or agreed with really. Passing or puck handling for me just is boring. It's boring to teach. It's one that's the whole reason why I don't like it. I was never really the best puck handler, so it's kind of hypocritical of me to really teach it. But I don't know. I just puck handling to me is so boring.
Yeah. Yeah, the elevated stance I'm fine with situationally. There's like, obviously if a guy's in the slot ready to like locked
Yeah,
and
like
loaded,
screens. Yeah, no,
I
it
don't
definitely makes
want you.
sense.
Even perimeter stuff though, I'm quite all right with that because there is like some merit to you know, some energy conservation to an extent. There I also think too, like just with the way that we play and we're kind of always in the butterfly, like your stick's going to come down to the ice as you drop. I don't know. I mean, I I'm definitely not opposed to it. In terms of the small adjustments, like thinking about it, I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're talking about like happy feet or chopping salad. And if
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
case, then yes. But again, that kind of stems back to the efficiency discussion where if your feet are constantly moving and, chopping salad or, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, that leads to, inefficient movement. You're burning energy, you're wasting time kind of thing and not really getting too far. So yeah, I,
I'm
I guess
okay.
I
Like
can see that,
I'm
but
okay with it as a like as a skating movement, as a skating pattern. If we're just doing skating, but
yeah.
when it comes to like actual drills with pucks involved, it's I don't see the value in that.
Yeah, I think the small adjustments, as long as you're following a puck, as
Oh
it's
yeah,
being walked, is fine. But
but even
um,
then, that has its caveats.
yeah. Um, Anything else on that one?
Nope, that was it.
All right. So this one, what do you miss most about playing? Like, and I know you still do the odd beer league game, but I don't really count beer league.
um, I think the competitiveness. Like I've never played like double A, triple A junior hockey as much as everybody Nathan around me likes to admit or likes to rub in rather. Um, but I mean, like for me, I'm not like a play to win type of guy, but I'm definitely like a play good, feel good, type of guy. Um, like you were saying, like I fill in for the odd beer league games, and those are frustrating on the best of times. But I think just generally, playing competitively, playing in an organized, betterly organized um, kind of setting compared to beer league. Um, that was it. I don't miss the tiering process. Hated that. I don't miss the 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 politics that I guess came with it, especially in my last year of hockey. But I definitely miss like the camaraderie amongst teammates, and the tournaments, and the pizza parties at Boston Pizza where we filled pitchers of pop with random items to piss off the servers. But um, Nathan's giving me
Don't
that
do that,
look.
kids.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
try
do that,
this at
please.
home.
Yeah, please don't do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think just the competitiveness of it is probably what I miss most.
Hmm. Our organization's lawyer has told us to disregard anything Connor just said.
HR.
Uh, yeah. Um, yeah, no, that's fair. That's probably what I miss most too, is kind of, I don't like, I don't know, just the reward of your
Yeah,
success kind of thing,
yeah,
like winning at a high level or whatever level you're at feels good.
yeah.
So,
Like you could lose 6-3 or 6-2, but as long as you did everything that you could, and you're satisfied with like, you might not be satisfied with the result, but as long as you're satisfied with the performance that you put out there, and it was a worthy performance, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I
yeah,
think that translates very, very well into today's game, as well as, oh, it's all little Johnny's fault because he gave up 6 goals on 20 shots. Well, yeah. Well, what was the rest of the team doing? Little Johnny probably made some of the best blocker saves that he's ever made, or like the best stick saves, and he kept the puck out of the net for 5 minutes at once, or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
so.
yep.
Yep, that's that. There, nothing else on that.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm just gonna cross this one off here. Okay, I got another bit of a personal one here, and I'm actually kind of curious about this. You and I first started working together back in 2022 in September. We connected, what, late August, sometime around there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all a
Nathan's like,
blur.
sure.
It feels like 10 years ago. So,
Yeah, right. So, what were your thoughts on me as a coach when we first started working together versus now?
oh, the this is tread carefully. Uh, um, the listeners are probably like, I don't want to hear what Nathan thinks about Connor, except for Brad. Brad wants to know. Um, no, I honestly, at the time, like, I was at a place where I needed help. And so just finding somebody's like even somewhat competent, I just needed some form of warm body that could actually somewhat coach goalies. Because yeah, that was right near when I had transitioned from kind of doing stuff just on my own, testing the waters. Things were going fairly well. And then, so I think only a couple months before we met, I started True North. And yeah, I was just getting to a point that it was really tough to get 6 goalies booked for a session, and having to last minute try and text handfuls of people that most of the time were like, no, like, I
Yeah.
don't do I don't do that, or don't do that anymore, or whatever. I don't know. So it was definitely nice for sure. um I Again, it's been a while. I know it's only been like 3 years, a little less than that. But I don't know. I think the eagerness, like there is a lot of eagerness, a lot of like, I want to make my mark, which was good. Still there. That's why you bullied me into getting on this podcast full time. And, you know, um, but yeah, I don't know. I think we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff except for race stances. And and
Didn't realize that there
a
was going
few
to be a lot
other,
of shots here.
yeah, a few other small. Oh, you walked into this one. You started this
Yeah, I
thing up
did.
with
I
your
did. I
padding.
did. I did.
But no, I mean, I think I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of just in general growth over the last couple of years, whether it's the organization itself or myself or you or whatever the case is. I mean, last year there was you, me, and one other coach, and now there's like 12 of us. So, it's
Yeah.
it's it's ever evolving and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I think yeah, that's probably the big thing is just kind of that eagerness to be involved, eagerness to learn and to, you know, be the change you want to be in the world kind of thing. So, but yeah, I don't know. Why don't I reverse that on you and see where you're standing over there. Just
Well,
remember,
I
I'm kind of your boss, so no pressure.
I love my job. I love being here. Gun to head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
blink
I
twice if
mean,
you need help.
yeah, I mean, kind of like you, like it's all just kind of blurred together at this point. Um, the, when you and I had first met, I honestly wasn't sure kind of what to think of you. Like
Thank
you're well, I mean, you're a very monotone guy, right? So I was like, okay. I was like I couldn't get a, couldn't really get a read on you, like in the first when I first time I met you. But as we've worked together and have grown over the years, you become one of my best friends, and my boss at the same time. And there's like again a lot of growth. I mean, I think your passion and your drive, into this, I admire a lot, because Lord knows that I can build a business from scratch and sink a lot of money into the facility, and we do all the sessions and all that. Like that takes time and effort, and you being able to put that time and effort in because you want to see True North succeed, because you have a passion for it, which has never wavered. And as well as the other business ventures as well, the DIY Goalie podcast, being one of them, and the many other True North offsets that we keep joking about. But yeah, I mean, like the I have nothing but good things to say about you, and I'm glad to be here. And um
yeah,
yeah, I don't know, like we both have grown over the years, and I've learned a lot from you, and I would like to think that you've learned a little bit from me at the same time. And just the fact that we're able to text each other, and just be able to call and bounce ideas off of each other, and kind of talk about how our sessions went, and just kind of just chat, really, basically, and just talk shop about all that. So
yeah. Connor loves to call me after a session, right when I'm putting the kids to bed.
yep.
So that's
Hey, got to deliver on those progress reports, boss. That's what I
yeah.
got to deliver.
It's funny that you talk about the monotony that I have, and because actually, the more I listen to the Goalie Science podcast, the more I'm like, I feel like Jamie Phillips is like like almost like a spirit animal, like of mine, like very dry humor, very like sarcastic and kind of that monotonous. But yeah, I've definitely been told that it drives some people nuts. Um, all good things. We're getting emotional here on the DIY goalie podcast. Some
Where's the
tears at
tissues?
home.
Where's the
Yeah.
tissues?
So I'll reel it back to a little bit more kind of goalie related. Um, when okay, I guess before I ask this, you can give me different answers for different age groups. That's
Okay.
fine. When is it okay to pull a goalie?
Didn't we talk about this in the community hot takes episode?
Kind
I feel
of.
like we did. I feel like we did.
I know we
Um,
briefly touched on it, but
yeah. So I guess I'll divide this by age level, but also in terms of skill level. So when it comes to, I guess, like, or I should say streams rather. So in the general minor hockey stream, sorry, I'll backtrack again here. So I guess first thing I want to say is that like I'm never really one or a fan for pulling the goalie, but I understand that there's a time and a place for it. And I'm always everybody should play, everybody fair play, this and that, which aligns more with the general minor hockey stream in my eyes. Um, by extension, when it comes to age levels, I would say probably wouldn't so much at U9, U11, what is it, U13? Whatever novice Adam Pee Wee is now.
yeah, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
novice Adam PV. Yeah.
Yeah. Pee Wee maybe, or U13. U15, U18, I think there's a time and a place for that. In the more competitive streams, such as a double A, triple A, I think eh, again, like for me personally, I would boil it down to how is the goalie performing generally throughout the game. Again, like we might be down 3-0 or 3-5-3 or 5-2 rather. Um, and sometimes coach as well, just to shake things up, with the team, and never really, it's never really on the goalie. I think though it depends just kind of on the performance throughout the game. Um, I don't know. I'm like I said, like I'm never really won or have any favor for pulling the goalie, but I understand that there's a time and a place for it and for a reason.
So the answer is never. When is it okay to pull a goalie? Never.
Absolutely never. Roll with the punches.
All right. Well, I definitely know you're not getting a job on Pete DeBoer's coaching staff. So,
Yeah.
you know.
God, how like you're such like a well recognized coach. How do you go into panic mode that quickly?
Well, it's not panic mode. I think it's just more that old school mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Either way,
Anyways, what do you
tell
got
me why
for
I'm
me?
wrong, Nathan.
Oh, okay. Well, ah, yeah, I don't know. I'm more on the side of it's not a time to pull the goalie unless they are like emotionally um I don't even know the word I'm looking for, like
Distraught, I guess.
disassociated, like when they've gotten to the point that their emotions have kind of taken over, their abilities. Like if they're at the point that they're not even able to really like do anything that their training has prepped them for because they're either frustrated or upset or whatever the case is, I think that's a point to take them out. um I also think, if it's I don't know, I understand the shakeup. I've been on both ends of that. Like the one that drove me the most nuts is I got pulled after allowing the second goal on 18 shots to make the game 2-2 with 8 minutes left in the second period. I got pulled in that instance. So to me, that is what when not to pull a goalie. Still bitter about that one, but I can also see too, like, the mercy pull where even if it's not necessarily your fault for letting in 6 goals on 20 shots, just to be like, you know what, take a breather, take a reset, like, because you might end up like we saw the whole Patrick Waugh situation that obviously irked him. So some goalies, you know, might just want to get out of the net at that point. But I think that's also precedented by a conversation ahead of time to see what your goalie likes and doesn't like and where they're at, so that you kind of know. So I do think there are some certain times and places. Now, when we're talking like really young kids, they should be splitting games anyways. So you're not really necessarily pulling them unless they get hurt or something like that. Once you kind of creep into the U13, U15, there might be a time and a place. Again, I think that age group is more the emotional side. If they're really struggling emotionally, it's time to get them out. And then I understand that there's a performance aspect to it when you get older. So U18, junior, and up kind of thing. And, at that point, it's a business. I get it. If it's not the goalie's night, it's not the goalie's night. Um, but at the same time, I do think there's something to be said about trying to play through it. So I think sometimes coaches are a little quick on the trigger. We saw the whole Pete DeBoer thing with 2 shots on 2 goals. At least the Oilers let Koskinen get to 4 goals on 4 shots before they pulled him a few years ago. But yeah, so I think U18 and up is probably when you might be okay, quote unquote, with performance related pulls, if you're at a high level. But again, it to me has to be more justified than a quick, like 2 goals on a 5-on-3 that your team started out with or something like that. Like give them a bit of a chance to battle through and then kind of work from there. But that's kind of my viewpoint on it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I got no rebuttal on that. I
yeah.
guess we'll do one more here to cap off the pod.
Oh, I don't get a
What
fourth one today.
I hate you so much. Shout out
Sorry,
Brad
bro.
McDonald. um, I guess I'll ask you this. It's kind of off the books here.
Oh God.
What is the plan with True North goaltending moving forward? Kind of the 5-year plan. What can we look forward to?
Take over the world. Um yeah, I mean, honestly, it's yeah, I don't know about a necessarily like 5-year plan. Like I think it's just an ongoing plan. Like basically my goal with True North goaltending and the DIY goalie, although that's going to become True North goaltending very soon, is just getting as much information and resources as possible into the goalie community and to do the best that we can to help support the goalie community. So I kind of have like my next thing up now that business tax time is over and whatever else, the website merger is kind of next on my hit list. But after that, my next major project is to get the coaches supporting their goalie course, um videoed, like scripted, videoed, and set up. And after that, eventually I'd like to do a goalie parent one and then kind of keep, like going with the content, going with the sessions to again kind of give the give the goalies the stuff that I slash we didn't have when we were in their position, because I can tell you I would have done a lot more with my career had I known a fraction of the stuff that I know now. And I
Yeah.
wish I had somebody to tell me some of that stuff. And so to me, it's kind of like it's criminal how important the position of goaltending is and how under supported it is. Like, coaches are always like, "Oh, we need a goalie that can steal us games." And then it's like you watch their practice and their practice is all flow drills with 2 on O's and like, and it's just like, well, no wonder your goalie can't steal you a game because you don't give him the tools to. And so that's kind of, I guess, like the ongoing plan. I mean, I guess if you're talking about specific goals, like I don't know if it'll happen within 5 years, but I would like to get actual ice for us, not just synthetic at some point. Um, and yeah, just keep, I don't know, putting it out there in terms of content. Like that's another thing. Like I wish I had more time to do that just between the day job and two young kids and the business and whatever. I really don't have a whole heck of a lot of time to do content, which sucks. And I wish I did. But that's something I want to try and do more of down the road as well. But yeah, I think the main goal behind True North goaltending is just to get as much knowledge as possible in the hands of goalies to help them, you know, get to experience some of the cool things that comes along with being a goalie and you know have fun with it. I think we kind of lose that a little bit too, is how much fun it is to make a big save in a close game and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know, just passing along the torch to the next generations, I guess, is the biggest ongoing plan.
Fair enough. Um,
So
yeah. No, fair enough. I don't know. I'm just
so
I'm just here for the ride. So
yeah, I don't know. Does that pass the vibe check? Are you sticking around for the next 5 years?
would like to. Yes.
Yeah.
Our
All right.
contract negotiations coming up soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Performance evaluations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was maybe going to save this one, but maybe we'll end it off since it's been a bit more of a personal episode. So,
I honestly so I have to say, like, I honestly felt like you were asking more personal questions the last one, and I was asking the technical ones, so I thought we were gonna flip the script this time.
well, fair enough. Well, I got one that's a
All
little
right.
bit personal to end off. So, do you think being a goalie has shaped any part of your personality, like away from the rink? And if so, how?
I'm gonna get you to do it again because it cut out literally like mid question.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you think that being a goalie has kind of shaped your personality, like away from the rink? And if so, how?
I don't know so much about being a goalie. I definitely think being a goalie coach has shaped it more. Because I don't know, like it's strange and kind of silly because like I have this love hate relationship with playing goal. Because well, no, because like when I get asked to play, whether it's on the pond or in beer league or whatever, it's like I kind of have to be in the mood to want to play. Otherwise, I don't really want to. And if I don't want to, then I know I'm not going to perform well. And if I want to, I know I'm going to perform well. Um, I do think being a goalie, has made me a better athlete in other sports. Being a goalie um, has given me an opportunity to play the game that I love and to play the position that I love and to kind of have a bit of a unique experience in playing the game. Um, but being a goalie coach for me, I think has shaped it more because I view things technically and I view things analytically, and I've been able to utilize kind of the skills as a coach into kind of my personal everyday life, more specifically at work, where it's like if I need to correct something, I'm not coming in and berating about it. So I know how to talk to the individual that I'm talking to and be able to quote unquote coach them, and to be able to, hey, let's make sure that we're doing the right procedure here. Or let's make sure that we're doing the right thing because this is not only what it's asked of us, but here is the skills that I'm giving you to be able to do that. Um, so I definitely think that being a goalie coach more has shaped more of my personality and kind of how I view the world compared to being a goalie.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Uh,
Quick last little thing kind of
Oh,
related,
bonus
but
question.
yeah. Um, as an almost dad,
Okay.
do you want your little girl to be a goalie or no?
uh do I want them to get into hockey? Yes. Am I going to force her into it? No. Do I want her to be a goalie? I I think it'd be cool, kind of following in Dad's footsteps, because that's what I did. That's what my brother and I did with our dad. Um, Lord knows that I genuinely don't think that I could separate parent from coach. Um,
Well,
I probably could.
that's why you
Go
have a
ahead.
team of true north coaches.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, as long as I get facility sessions for free, I'll take it. Yeah, I say that I don't think I'd be able to separate parent from coach. I think I probably actually could. Because I would probably just treat her as like any other young kid that I have coming through the studio. Um, Easier said than done. I know how expensive the position is. And if she's anything like me, she's going to want her own equipment, brand new, whatever the latest whatever is. Um, but I think just as long as, like, for me, if she wants to play the sport, great. If she wants to be a goalie, great. If she wants to be a player, even better. My wallet will thank her later. Um, but I think just if she wants to get into the position or whatever it is that she wants to do when it comes to some kind of activity, um, I'll always be there for her and I'll always support her no matter what. And I'll just be dad. That's the goal. Is just be dad, be her number one fan, and um, just do everything that I can to make sure that she succeeds and make her dreams come true.
Oh, we're so touchy feely on today's episode. We'll have to get listener feedback on if we need more of that or not.
Just start
But
putting expletives in the pod. We'll have to beep everything
yeah,
out, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We'll have playing in net Nathan come out, and yeah, there'll be a lot of bleeping going on for that.
Well,
Um,
what about you? Because your oldest is completed his first year in playing hockey.
yeah, so they're still like he's still a couple years away from there being full-time goalies. Um, I do still believe he's going to be a baseball kid. He seems to have the skill set for that. Um, but yeah, I am in the same boat. Obviously, if they're going to go that route, I'll support them. Good on them. I hope they don't. But it's not even because of the position itself. It's just because I know that they might have a hard time separating dad from coach.
Yeah,
And, it's oh, the rink's supposed to be my like getaway and dad's still here telling me what to do kind of thing, right? So in that sense, I mean, it's not too bad now that like we do have our collective of coaches. I could probably just get one of you guys to do coaching with them, but I always knew that like it would break my heart a little bit to have to like pay or get somebody else to coach them because they won't listen to me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the reason why. I also like would very much enjoy to be the naive parent that has no idea what's going on, like I would if we went the baseball route,
Yeah.
because the hockey route, I know like the games that are played, I know like, you know, all the stuff that goes on, and you know, and I know that goes on with every sport, like you don't get away from it, but it'd just be nice to be like show up and just cheer and not have a care in the world, you know, ignorance is bliss kind of thing. So I don't know, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I won't be opposed to it. I just would rather them not, but it's not even because of the position itself. It's just for other reasons, as stated. So
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, I I applaud the parents that do. I think you're crazy, but I applaud the parents that do. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just, I guess like for us as coaches, I mean, like we hear so many parent horror stories, and we deal with some pretty interesting parents, and I think it's kind of shaped our kind of what do we want to do with our kids. You know, when they get in when they get into sport, I I guess like I don't know. For me, like if my daughter chose to go into I don't know something like I don't know something like soccer or basketball or whatever, I don't think I'd mind it because then I kind of get to learn a new sport alongside her,
yeah, that's what
and
I'm
kind of
saying.
get
You get
to
to be naive
learn.
and
Yeah, exactly, and just kind of
along for the
learning.
ride.
Yeah, exactly. Um, because I don't know, like I guess like, and you probably share the same sentiments. Like for us, it's like if they decide to pursue hockey with some intent, we know the ins and outs of it, and we know that it's going to be hard for us to keep our mouth shut, basically, right? And
Yeah,
so, yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
it's a double-edged sword because it's like, oh,
Exactly.
it might be able to really help them get to a high level, but at the same time, it's like, well, or is it just too much, right? Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
all right, well, you
All
want to
right.
bring us home then?
I will bring us home. The 66th episode, the Mario Lemieux episode of the DIY Goalie podcast, presented by True North Goaltending. If you are listening on the podcast side of things, first off, thank you. And if you are a new listener, make sure you hit that follow button for new podcast episodes that come out every Tuesday. Um, Sorry for making you edit the last one. Um, moving on and away from that, make sure you do hit that share button across all your favorite social media platforms. The more goalies that we are able to bring to our little goalie community, the better. If you are watching over on the YouTube side of things, again, same deal. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you're a new viewer, subscribe. And same deal as well. Make sure you share the YouTube channel with your friends and family and other goalies across the great internet. Don't like the way I said that, but I'm going to continue on with it. Yeah, it's but yeah. So do all that. More goalies that we're able to bring together, the better. You can follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all at True North Goaltending, except for Instagram because we like to be different. That one is YEG Goalie Coach. You can follow myself on Instagram at MondayGC. Go check us out, truenorthgoaltending.com. If you are in the Edmonton area and you want to book a session with us, we do have those available. As well as, like Nathan said at the start of the pod, we have 4 open spots left for our 5-day camp happening August 11th through 15th. So if you are in the Edmonton area or happen to be passing through, and if you want to come out for a week-long skate, register because spots are filling up fast. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody in August. It's going to be a fun one. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. On behalf of Nathan and myself, we'll see you guys next time. Make some saves.